man, I probably easily could have pushed higher levels with that. Because the fire gargantuans just do so much damage. More so than the poison physical and even the cold one. But we're going to try to run this physical with cold damage. We'll see how it goes. So we got the Humongite Cold for the cleave damage. We got the Legion of Daggers physical. And we also got the physical ones that are going to come from the passive. We'll see how it goes. Oh, it's on my YouTube. I recorded everything with the fire. The fire did 40 pretty much no problem for the most part. It was really consistent. The damage was just ridiculous. The Gargantuan was critting for 200 million. It was really enjoyable. Yeah, that would be nice. Percent damage for all pets, that would actually make the build really strong. That's actually a really good idea. I might actually have to put... Hey, if you want Pussinator, post that inside the Blizzard forums. We should, like, post that, because that's actually a really good idea. Make it all pet damage increase. That would be really nice. Would make things a lot less of a headache. Also, can you please change pet cleave to physical, please? Instead of cold. We'll never use it. Yeah, there probably is, bro. I wouldn't be surprised, dog. There's always some kind of exploit going on. That's why I don't take rankings too seriously. I focus more on building the community and helping people learn the game and shit. Hey man, this is looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. But this is just trials though. But I mean, the damage is looking really excellent actually. The cleave and putting the more damage on the fetishes. If we can clear this level, I'll be like, this is pretty much bet. This is pretty much, might be pretty legit. 36! Not bad. But I got 36 before with this build. Well, it wasn't running the cleave. See, if they were to make Gargantuan Humongoid physical, three little Gargantuans all cleaving with the physical damage from the fetishes, it would be good because all your 23 fetishes would be physical. You could stack physical and do great, right? And then on top of that, like the Gargantuans would benefit. You could build a Gargantuan damage; it'll be perfectly fine. That would actually be pretty good if they actually make cleave physical. That would open up a possibility there. Like that cleave ability. How I farm gold to get a boon of the hoarder. It's a gem that gives you gold every time a monster drops. It'll get you really rich. Yeah, that's why I wondered. That would actually be very smart. But some people would argue, oh, it's not the same thing because companions are companions and pets are pets. Woo, what is up with your problem, Exorcist? Damn, bro. Calm that shit the fuck down. Uh-oh. Debo, why Debo? fucking Nightbot got you. I don't know why I'm destroying your cold James, but it's a very bad spell to have for cold. Like, the cleave ability is too good to not have it be physical or something. No, I still think our Tiki Sack is a lot better. But I mean, yeah, it is kind of annoying. But I'm like, like I always tell people, I know I'm sounding like a broken record. Like barbarians are irrelevant in group play, while Witch Doctor is #1 in every group play. Twos is a Witch Doctor and Demon Hunter. Threes is 2 Demon Hunters and 1 Witch Doctor. Fours is 2 Demon Hunters, 1 Witch Doctor, and basically a Crusader. You know, and as long as we got Perma Fear and like the best 0 DPS building game, I don't really think we need any more buffs, because if they buff if we're already kings in group play, and then they buff our damage really high to be that competitively of a DH, then maybe what if we did as much damage as a DH? Then Witch Doctors wouldn't even need to bring a DH. You could actually just bring Witch Doctors, and Witch Doctors are a lot safer because they have Spirit Walk and all that other different kind of stuff. It would just be really weird. Maybe it would, because like you can't give a class everything. When you give a class everything, that's when you get imbalanced. And when you get imbalanced, and everybody's just gonna be running Witch Doctor, because hey man, did you see the new Witch Doctor build, man? Let's just say Jade can do like 8 billion damage crits or 10 billion damage crits, or whatever. Then everybody would play Jade, and instead of Demon Hunter, let's say the new Witch Doctor set in groups, Jade was better than Demon Hunter, or about the same. People are going to run a Witch Doctor, because not only are they going to be powerful for damage inside of groups, they're also going to be like, you know, best solo is going to be good. Look, our solo can get up to level 55 to 60. We're dominant in every single groups for damage, and we would just be too much. You know, so I mean, if they did buff the Witch Doctor's solo capabilities to be ridiculous, we would be the most overpowered class in game. Then you know what happens. Everybody's just going to jump over to Witch Doctor, and you'll see a bunch of Witch Doctor streams on Twitch. Because that's the new OP shit, and that's what people want to see, you know what I'm saying? And I don't really necessarily agree that's the right way. So, Barbarians might do really good with their pet builds, but they're not that great in group play. No one uses a Barbarian group play. They don't have any type of utility. They don't tank shit well, and let's be honest, I mean, why are you gonna... You would never choose a Barbarian over a Crusader or a Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor amplifies the damage and has Perma Fear. It can generate health glows with Selenium. And then the Crusaders have a decent 0 DPS that they use with the Witch Doctor and a team, and then they also cut the Demon Hunter's hatred spinning by half, which lets them allow them to do more DPS, so... Yeah, as long as Barbarians suck in group play, I'm all for giving them buffs for solo play. Because then if a Barbarian says, oh, I'm not viable in group, hey, motherfucker, you can do level 60 Greater Rift, you're the best solo class in game. Okay, that's kind of fair, you feel me? But if you were to just, like, give Witch Doctors that kind of damage with DH, it would be very dangerous because then you would just see full Witch Doctor parties. You would see 2 Witch Doctors, 1 0 DPS Witch Doctor, and 1 Crusader, maybe, or maybe just another Witch Doctor. Fuck it. Maybe you'd see 2 types of, like, you know, 0 cooldown. Which I mean, I'm pretty sure you would see 2 damage dealing Witch Doctors. You would see 1 0 DPS, and then the question is who's going to be the 3rd class, and then you'll have 1 class that's going to be like in the top end brackets of everything. You know. And then you'll see in 2s will be double Witch Doctor. 3s will be double Witch Doctor, Doctor in another class, or maybe double Witch Doctor for damage. And then, could you imagine that? And then it would just be in balance. And then you would have like a lot of people playing Witch Doctor acting like they're fucking experts and shit. And you'll be like, dude, I've been playing Witch Doctor for how long? I mean, not that that really matters. A lot of people are playing a class. But, I mean, if people are going to play Witch Doctor class, I want them to come play the class because it's a cool class to play. It has a lot of versatility. They like using pets. But I do agree that pets can be up just a little bit more. I think the biggest problem with pets is if they can do splash damage, that'll be fine. If they can have area effect trigger on your pets, that would be perfectly fine. Maybe cap it at a base number value, but like, you know, maybe 1 out of every 5 attacks does a splash attack that does 25% of the pet damage. That would be fine. I think if they added a little splash damage, pets would be okay, and then that's all they need to do to them. Because then again, if you buff pets too much, then you'll have a bunch of Witch Doctor. You have a 0 DPS Witch Doctor building a bunch of pets just running around, right? Yeah, it's still worth doing for pubs, but it puts more emphasis on them doing damage. But I mean, even if you get like 1 Demon Hunter that's half-assed with Marauders, a 0 DPS that can make that Demon Hunter play like a crazy bastard and carry the group, because everything's gonna stay permanently feared and stuff, you know. And that's just kind of how it goes. That was actually a very good run. That actually worked out very well. Maybe I could drop a little bit of toughness and run the necklace that has physical damage on it. That skip 3. That was a very good run. So either I got very lucky or the physical is not that bad when running cleave. Running the physical damage for the fetishes and then just having the gargantuans just be there for cleave is not a bad idea at all. So that makes me happy. That was a really good run. That was real promising. But usually you do 0 DPS with the group of people you know, but it's still a good build to run. And even if you're just doing T6 runs with it, it still clears fast and amps up the damage everybody else. Sees everything. It's a pretty faithful build. Ooh! What a nice pair of shoes. Nothing like getting a nice pair of shoes. That was a really good run, but that was only 36 though. I got skipped to 39. Not bad at all. Oh, I can't get all res on this bitch. I can only get his movement speed, right? Oh, that sucks. That's fine. So we're looking pretty good. Pretty solid. Fulminator? I don't know, man. All I know, pretty much, if it's not Firebirds with the Furnace, I don't know. Or at least the Sunkeeper with the offhand of the Firebird, or the Wand of the Hydra, or whatever it's called, that lets you get 2 Hydras with the offhand of the Firebird. For Wizards, that comes to mind is all Firebird shit. If you're talking about PTR, I heard their Talrasha is really good. And their damage is actually really competitive, which is good because Wizards do deserve to do... Because Wizards, they're not good in groups and they're not the best in solo. So you either got to buff them so that they're best class in solo or they're very competitive, or you got to make sure they have some kind of utility they can bring into groups, which either way is fine. So I'm happy Blizzard actually is addressing the Wizard issue. Serpent? Yeah, Serpent of the Hydra, that's what it's called. The one that makes so you have 2 Hydras. I know some of them use that with the Firebird, some use Sunkeeper, some use the Furnace. Usually it always revolves around Firebird, though. That Firebird set's just too good because the enemies burn and they take billions of damage. If you have any wizards in the house, speak on up. They'll tell you, man, like, that shit is fucking ridiculous. And I have to say, when I was playing my wizard, I remember, like, my witch doctor, like, I was trying to get the 40 and shit. And I did, like, my first initial run with Firebird seriously. When I started taking it seriously and I got all the gear for it, I did, like, 39. I was so pissed. I was like, this is some bullshit. You know. Yeah, Firebird set's good. So Wizards can stand a little bit of a buff, man. Uh-oh. Crazy nigga from the start. Fast Illusionist Vortex. I got pretty lucky. That's not too bad, actually. Dude, these guys are actually doing good damage. This is crazy. Or maybe that one's just really weak. That cleave damage is doing work, man. That cleave is doing work. That cleave. Or maybe it's just all the fetishes have that extra little physical damage now, but that cleave is doing work, I think. That's not a bad... That cleave needs to be physical. This is actually doing work right now. This is really good. I don't know if it's just a mob density, but that cleave is ridiculous. That's really good. Huh. Cleave with physical. Who'd have thought? Even though the Gargantuans are core property, that cleave is still doing work. Very nice. Okay, here comes the next elite. We'll see how this goes. I got good toughness, so I should be okay, and I just picked up those... Dude, this is ridiculous, man. That cleave is going to town on them. I think it's the cleave. It has to be the cleave. That has to be the cleave. 3 monsters cleaving? That's so strong. Huh. That's interesting. They really need to make that cleave room physical. That's really good damage. That's a shame, too. Plus the sacrifice ampling up the damage. Along with the gruesome feast is very nice as well too. I'm at my DPS like it's usually over like a little bit 2 million sheet. That's not bad at all. Oh, another elite. Ooh, and he got teleport. He's a little bit of a jerk, isn't he? Well, it could be worse. He could have something real worse. Oh, I gotta be careful. He has Vortex. Did they got a health globe anywhere? I need a health globe. There it is. Boom. Damage amp. This is actually killing pretty good for a 39. This is actually going really good for a 39. This is going almost too good. They really need to make cleave on Gargantuan instead of cold. They need to make that shit physical. That would be very nice. 23 fetishes off physical property scaling, and with the Gargantuan, that would be pretty nice. You got your Homunculus and the Sacrifice and give you 20% damage increases, and then with the Haunt Rune with the 20%, that's pretty solid right there. But I don't think they're gonna do that though. Do you play double furnace build? No. That's back in the day. We used to use double furnace. He means, I think what he means is like when they used to put the furnace on your enchantress with the increased elite damage, and you used to use a furnace yourself because furnace used to give you percent based damage upon the HP. So like what it was is every time you hit the monster with a furnace, it would do damage based upon how much health it had. So the higher the health, it would always consistently do good damage. And everybody started using that shit to get the Greater Rift like level 100 because it was like fucking overpowered, and then Blizzard had to nerf it and just put it with a lot of elite damage. Yeah, double furnacing back in the day, hell yeah, because that's what you just did. You'd had your enchanters with the furnace, you'd have your yourself with the furnace. So when your enchanters would, like, let's say for instance, let's say it did 10% damage, right? So like let's say the monster has 10 billion HP. If I'm correct, that 10 billion every time, that means every time you would proc the effect, or let's just say if it had 100 billion HP, that means every time that fucking furnace proc, the first proc would do 10 billion damage because it's 10%. It was ridiculous. And you would have it, and your enchanters would have it. So what you would do is you would just keep hitting them with the furnace procs until it got low enough, and then you would just kill it. It was pretty fucked up. Monks are very good solo. They're not the best in groups. They're not used in, I mean, they're still used in groups, but they got phased out due to the Crusader being able to help with the hatred issue of the Demon Hunters. That's to do to Blizzard changing everything. But right now, the current top 4-person party is 2D8, 2DHs, a Crusader, and a Witch Doctor. But the Witch Doctor, the Crusader can be subbed out for a Monk, but they still prefer, hot top tiers. They still prefer a Crusader. For 3s, it's, I think, double DH and a Witch Doctor, and then for 2s, is a Witch Doctors and a DH. Monk is very good solo right now, if not the strongest T6, strongest solo class in game right now. Well, next to DH, DH is still pretty powerful and shit. Oh, the reason I'm doing PTR is I'm testing all this new items and stuff like that. I'm going to be going back to doing seasons, but I wanted to get on this PTR and test out the Tall Man's Finger. Or I'm sorry, Small Man's Finger. It's the ring that makes it so you get 3 mini fetishes. And I wanted to make a guide showcasing fire, poison, and physical builds for this. And then, put that up there for everybody to know what's up, to get ahead of the curve, and just so I don't have to do this guide later. And also, just to test some other things like Zunimasa, and then give some feedback in the forums and stuff with Blizzard. And make a nice post about it, so hopefully they'll listen to some of my ideas so they can make the Witch Doctor class a lot better. Then I'm going right back to seasons, but I'm testing this stuff out to hopefully help so that when these items come out, like, they're not really fucked up, or they actually make sense, and they're not too silly. They're doing a pretty good job so far. Listen to the feedback. They're going to be moving these Cloth of Transcendence pants that I'm using, the one that makes it so you get a 100% guaranteed chance to get a fetish every time you cast a Haunt. Or, I mean, not Haunt, but any mana Jenner Spender. They're going to move that to a belt, and they're going to add Zunimasa pants, because they've been getting really good feedback from the community, so that's what we're trying to do. Oh, not on, Greater Rifts, no. I really haven't really worried about that too much, because the Greater Rift system's kind of fucking crazy with the pylons, but I would like to think I'm, like, the #1 Witch Doctor in general that people know. But I think they got a long way to go before people start taking the Greater Rift seriously. Because, like, I heard some crazy shit somebody told me today with the Cerberus dagger and DH is being able to one-shot motherfucking Greater Rift Guardians, which is pretty funny. But I don't think that's gonna hurt the leaderboards too much. But I know, like, that whole shit with the Aphasis Toxin Gem and the Pain Enhancer Gem at the end of last season, snapshotting with pylons, that fucking wrecked the leaderboards. This guy looks like an asshole. Hopefully he doesn't have Vortex. Nah, this one's easy. I just gotta dodge the poison. Any health globes? No health globes. Little sad. I don't know why I resummoned that Gargantuan. No health globes. Debo likes his health globes. Now I gotta fight his little minion helpers or whatever. There we go. That was pretty good. You know what I think it is? I think it's because since now with the Cloth of Transcendence it's so easy to keep up 15 fetishes constantly, that's actually adding to the overall DPS of any build that uses that. And keeping up the 15 fetishes constantly. That's very nice. Almost dead. There we go. This went really well for a 39. I think I'm going to upload this for physical. That's pretty solid. I think I will. Because that's a really good meter gain right there. That was very solid. Fuck. I don't want to take that damage no more like that. Get this guy over here, because that's the guy who casts little fire things under me and kills me and shit. About to get into that Greater Rift Guardian. I wonder which one I'll get. Oh, that's not too bad. Well, he's not too bad. He does mortar towards the end, but he's not bad. I only fuck a Witch Doctor. It's easier for me just to focus on one class to put my full effort in than to try to do multiple classes. I always tell people this. If you need some information about Witch Doctor, about new shit coming out, or what's going on in the Witch Doctor scene, hey, come free and ask me, because I always stay up on that Witch Doctor shit. But if you see, like, other streamers that play Barbarian, or the other classes that play, like, Crusader, and all this kind of shit, and they're not making guides, and they're not trying to spread their class around to the community and build it up, start giving them shit for that. I mean, it would be cool to do all the classes, but it would be too straining, man. There's too many classes. There's a lot of different shit for each individual classes, and yeah, you know. I could. You know, it'd be fun to play Wizard and try to do a nice Tal Rasha set, or try to do like a nice, you know, different kind of outside the box kind of set that actually does pretty decently. And stuff like that. So I had a little bit of time to spare, so that was pretty cool. Hail to the Lord of Pies. Lord of Pies! That's a good name. Who is this person? He is the Lord of Pies. Fantastic pies. Delicious pies. He is the Lord of Pies. Ah, hail, Lord of Pies. May his rule be merciful and ever so wonderful and splendorous. Lord of Pies. Better save that too. Plot twist, Lord of Pies never ate pies. Oh no. Plot twist.